Hey, it's really amazing to have you here. My name is Daniel and I'm a professional opera singer. I've performed nationally and internationally, and tonight we're going to be reacting to Geoff Castellucci's Far Over the Misty Mountains. When I was in college, I mentioned this in another video, but I was in an a cappella group, and my group always listened to Home Free, pentatonics, voice play, etc. And I fell in love with Geoff's voice. It's so deep and sultry, and he has such control and mastery of his voice, and to top it all off, he really just enjoys storytelling and is a real performer, and I really appreciate that about him. I haven't been up to date with his individual music, or for voice plays music for that matter. I've been out of the a cappella scene for a while, so this is going to be a lot of fun just to kind of dive into and really appreciate his voice and his vocal style. Something that I want to touch on before we jump into the reaction is something that I'm thinking about making are videos that not only talk about my experience as a musician, so you guys can understand what qualifies me to give the opinions and criticisms that I'm giving through my experience and through my understanding of music, but it also gives me an opportunity to express my worldview and to get new insight and new ideas as to how I can continuously grow as a person and be able to practice unconditional positive regard towards others. So with all that said, I'm really excited just to jump into this, and I really hope you are too. So let's sit back, relax, and just enjoy this wonderful, or what I'm sure is going to be a wonderful vibe from Geoff Castellucci. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old, we must
So smooth.
away and break of day to find our long forgotten goal.
Woo!
The
Damn.
pines were roaring.
Love that hit.
On the height, the wind was moaning in the night. The fire was red, it flaming spread. The trees like torches.
Yeah.
Blazed with light.
Oh yeah. What a vibe. Oh yeah.
The withered heath, but in the forest stood no leaf. Their shadows lay, be night or day, and dark things silent crept beneath.
Yeah. Just flowing with this vibe. And those harmonies. chills.
Wind may blow and rain may fall. We must away. And break of day. Far over wood and mountain tall.
Oh my gosh.
We must away. We must away. We ride before the break of day.
Oh my god. That was just magic. His voice, so powerful. It's like a kingpin walking into a room. You just feel that intensity, that aura. He doesn't even have to communicate anything. Just right off the bat, you immediately hear that hum where he creates this huge open space in his mouth and you can actually see it in his face. Let's just jump into the analysis. That was so amazing. That was so amazing. I can listen to this forever. And I love how all of these are just him. Just layered. Before we get too far into it, the set design, the costuming, the editing, everything, amazing. This video is amazing, and I love this whole vibe, this whole aesthetic. I really enjoy just fantasy worlds and D&D a lot, and to have this kind of this really strong Lord of the Rings feel to it, it's so cool. And just that beginning note, just that really deep initial note, it just sets the tone for everything that's about to come, and it oh yeah. Yeah. And just immediately on that, you can see in his face that he's creating so much space in his mouth. It's the idea that you have a golf ball lodged in the back of your throat and you're just really creating this space. It's not a really forward hum, it's a really open hum. So when you have an which is open versus a which is closed, or really directed and forward, to really create this broad, robust kind of atmospheric sound, you have to open that space in your mask, and he does such a great job with that, and it pairs so wonderfully with that deep, sultry voice. Oh yeah. His cadences are so smooth. Yeah, and those bass notes.
Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep.
I love that done. It kind of slides a little bit. To done. It's so atmospheric and such a great choice. Let's listen to that again.
The misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old.
These harmonies.
We must away and break of day to find our long forgotten gold.
His voice is so soft. It feels like this warm, cushiony felt, but there's just this, I don't want to call it a silent intensity because it feels so present and in your face, but because of its gentle approach, it's both intense yet it's not overwhelming. It's just very warm and you just feel this very assertive presence. And it's just so amazing. His voice just...
The pines were roaring on the high.
And I love the way he plays with that vowel. Oh, oh. Just really just really structuring it in the sense of the entire musical phrase. I like that a lot.
The wind was moaning.
Yeah, and those attacks on the hum, you have a strong initial hit on it, even though it's not overpowering the main vocalist, in which case is Geoff with the Geoffs. But you just have a strong attack on it, nothing overpowering Geoff, and it just rolls with the rest of the cadences.
In the night, the fire was red, it flaming spread, the trees like torches blazed with light.
And he does this a lot throughout the song, just the constant same notes and then the move to the second note. Blazed with light. And I love the fact that vocalists do this because it really creates this drag effect in the sound. And it just feels like you're just constantly getting pulled, or you're constantly pulling yourself along to his beat, to his rhythm. He is commanding everything in this video, and I love that. And just, yeah. I love these harmonies. So good.
But in the forest stood no leaf, their shadows lay, midnight or...
And something I really love about that note, aside from just how expertly he hits it and how well supported it is and how impossible it is for most other vocalists to do that. Normally, when you sustain a long note, especially in classical music, you have to do something with it. Whether it's a retard or a crescendo, some kind of dynamic change, or a structuring of the vowel in such a way that creates some kind of difference, some kind of momentum generating forward. Aside from just resting on the note itself and having this really robust sound on it, it just stays consistent because the song isn't necessarily picking up on that note. That note just speaks for itself, and he will move the song when he wants to move it, and that note wasn't it, even though it's extremely impressive. And I love the fact that he actually thought about this and says, no, I don't want to pick up the song on this area. I'm going to pick it up on other cadences, not just an impressive note, which I really, really appreciate.
And dark things silent crept beneath.
Nice unison. Oh, yeah. Nice dynamic change. Oh. It's so quiet and powerful.
We must away.
That was a really good connection.
We ride before the break of day.
What more can I say? It's really just that impressive. The way he structures the song. The backup vocals are nothing too complex. They come in on some offbeats and the harmonies are really consistent, very smooth. Everything just moves cohesively as a unit. This might sound like a really jarring denouement, but something that I actually think about a lot when I hear this piece is taiko, which is Japanese drumming. And if you've never seen a taiko performance, I heavily recommend it. The first one I ever saw was when I was taking ethnomusicology, which is the study of world music, and I was doing a report on Western drumming versus Eastern Asian drumming. And when I was focusing on taiko, I was learning that one of the taiko groups there, which is the greatest known in Japan and has a very small acceptance rate, and they run marathons together, and their core strength to be in a half sit-up position to hit a drum in a certain way for 30 plus minutes, like, can you imagine planking for that long? Let alone being in that kind of position and exerting powerful energy into your drum. And in those giant tree root drums where they're just putting their absolute all into creating this energy, this atmosphere. It's really one of the most beautiful expressions of music I've ever seen in my life. And I didn't think that I would experience it through drumming, yet here we are. And the reason I bring that up is because the song gives me that same energy. When the taiko group runs a marathon together as a group and doesn't leave anyone behind, it's very much in the same style of the song, where everything is just so cohesive and it just moves together. Lead vocalist Geoff with the other Geoffs, one doesn't necessarily move forward with dynamic or with particular tonal shifts or changes the cadence in any way, while the rest just kind of supply backup. Everything is moving together, and the sound moves together, the tones, the atmosphere, the dynamics, just everything all cohesive and moves together, and they drag their audience along when they choose to drag their audience along, and it's just so expertly produced. The costuming, the strings, the voice, the layering, and the tracks, just, man, what an amazing production. Geoff, as an artist, you have my well-deserved respect. That was incredible. I'm going to listen to that at least 10 more times today. Thank you all so much for watching this video with me. If you really liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you didn't like it, go ahead and leave a dislike and let me know what you didn't like about it. I will take it into consideration for future videos. And also, just as a reminder, let me know if you guys really want to have those types of break videos from reactions, just so we can get to know each other. I might either do that in a live stream format or just through videos. Or I might not even do it at all and just stick to the reaction content and storytelling, so we'll see. But until then, just let me know your thoughts, and I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. It really does mean a lot to me to have this overwhelming support for the channel and these reactions. So thank you all so much for being here. I deeply appreciate it, and I can't wait to see all of you in the next video. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, everyone.